So, first off, what was your inspiration behind the pod project?
So if we go back to early 2009, the council undertook quite a big public consultation across the city and asked the people of Sunderland, not just the people at the seafront, but the people across the whole city, what did they think the vision should be for Roker and what should the vision be for Seaburn as well. And we had a tremendous response of 2,500 responses, which is really good for a consultation in the city. And what came out quite strongly for us at Roker was people wanting more things for children to do at the seafront, more places to get something to eat, something to drink, places for school groups and community groups to come down at the seafront. To have a bit of a base. So that's kind of where, in terms of the idea for the uses came from really. In terms of then the design and the shape of them and what have you, we at the time knew there was an external fund called Sea Change, which the government were running, aimed at seafront regeneration. The fund was very much geared around arts and culture and heritage. So what we normally do as officers is when you know there's an opportunity for external funding is look very closely at the criteria and try and tailor your proposals to fit that criteria. So knowing it was based around arts and culture and heritage, we had a couple of artists work with us called Stuart Bastig and Maddie Nicholson, who picked up the feedback from the public consultation, did some of their own engagement, and then also just kind of got a feel for the locality and for the area. They're not Sunderland based, so it's kind of, although they know the area, they're not as familiar with obviously locals. And then what they picked up on particularly was the Cannonball limestone, which is very, I don't think it's the only place it's found in the world, but is very unique across the world. So they picked up that shape. And then designed the pods as a concept based on that shape and based on the ability to have uses in them as well. So very much arts led, and obviously they're a piece of art in their own right, but they have a function. So that's kind of really where the inspiration came from, and the concept went from a concept to what you see here today is a detailed design finished product.
So as far as design is concerned, are these unique to the country? What do we have with the project?
No, they're completely unique to Sunderland, and you'll not see these anywhere else in the world. You might see something similar, but they've been designed, bespoke design to Sunderland, yeah.
So what are your hopes for the rest of the beach then? Do you have any other projects that you would like to see come through, or possibly more pods?
There's no sort of additional pods in the pipeline.
Yeah.
The pods themselves were part, I said there was this Sea Change money, were part of that bigger project. It was £1 million external money. The council put $500,000 in top. Yeah, so we've got a further £2 million for Seaburn through the Coastal Communities Fund, and along with the council's own resources, we've actually now got a £5 million regeneration project, which will take place this year and next year at Seaburn and Roker. Which is a combination of promenade improvements at Roker and at Seaburn, as well as the start of a restoration of Roker Pier and Lighthouse. And as part of that, we've got a funding bid in at the minute with the Heritage Lottery Fund, which, if we get that money, will give us some additional capital resource to do a more comprehensive restoration of the pier and lighthouse. And if all goes to plan, will actually let us open up the lighthouse and the tunnel in the pier as a tourist attraction, which would be, I think, something quite special and again unique to Sunderland.
So what was Seed's aims and hopes behind this project?
We got asked to get involved basically to help get community groups, voluntary groups and schools involved in using the pods. So Seed leases to this education pod and the performance pod off the council, and we will be delivering activities ourselves to schools, to youth groups, to community groups, any groups that want to come down, use the park, use the seafront, use the beach, they can use these as a base and seek and lead activities, or all those groups can hire them themselves and have self-led activities down here.
So, does Seed have any other projects working around the area?
Yes, Seed works across Sunderland. Basically, our remit is to support communities to develop environmental projects. There tends to be quite focused on practical work, so we have a team of adult volunteers who come to us to learn skills, so they learn traditional conservation skills, gardening skills, we do a lot of food growing projects, and also traditional woodcraft skills, so green woodworking, it's like working with pole lathes to do carving, willow work, things like that. And we work with community groups, youth groups, to develop their outdoor space. So we do community gardens, school gardens, whether that's for food growing, whether it's just for recreation, somewhere for groups to be outside. And also we do education work with schools and groups across the city.
So obviously the pods are quite big and imposing on the beach. Have you received any criticisms about them or any disgruntled citizens?
I'd say there's mixed comments, but I can honestly say most have been favourable.
Yeah.
A lot of people are quite intrigued, look at them, think they look different, think they look unique. Some people's initial reaction is a bit less favourable, but on the whole, certainly the people I've spoke to, even those that think, oh, they look a bit odd, when they've found out what they're for and that for education and community use, they're very supportive.
As far as sustainability goes for the pods, how long are you expecting for these to last and be up here, or is there a shelf life on them?
There's not really a shelf life on them. You know, they're here for the foreseeable future. You know, I think a lot will depend on how much of a success they are, how they withstand the weather. They are designed to be at the seafront. So, hopefully, certainly for the next 10, 15 years, they'll be here and hopefully longer.